Hello, welcome to the course of Virtual Reality and Augmented Reality in Architecture 3.0. So let's begin with the definition and the difference between the virtual reality and augmented reality. So imagine that there are two worlds. One is the virtual world and one is the real world that we are living. So imagine that you are entering the virtual world and the things around that you see in the virtual world are completely imaginary. So that becomes the virtual reality. For example, your dream is also a virtual reality. So the things around you in the virtual world is completely imaginary. On the other hand, imagine that you're taking an object from the virtual world and placing it in the real world and scaling it and experiencing it in the real world. That becomes the augmented reality. For example, if you have a 3D model of a chair and placing it in your room or hall and scaling and feeling how it will look like in the real world, that becomes the augmented reality. Okay, so you got the basic definition. Like when you enter a virtual world and see the things around you that is completely imaginary, that becomes the virtual reality. And when you take an object from the virtual world and placing it in the real world and experiencing it, scaling it, so that becomes the augmented reality. So let's begin with the types of virtual reality and augmented reality. Whatever that you are presenting out of your laptop, it comes under the common category called the extended reality. So extended reality is majorly classified into three types. One is the virtual reality and one is augmented reality. The other thing is mixed reality. Mixed reality is nothing but it's a mix of virtual reality and the augmented reality. Okay, so let's see the subcategories of the virtual reality, augmented reality and mixed reality. Virtual reality is subdivided into three categories. One is static VR and the other one is interactive VR and the third one is walkthrough VR. So let's see the definition of the static VR, interactive VR, and walkthrough VR with few examples. Okay, so let's begin with the static VR. Static VR is something that when you visualize a space in a 360 degree, just visualizing the space in a 360 degree at one static point. Okay, so there is no interaction happening, or you cannot be able to move something, or you don't have any other actions or abilities in it. So a static VR is defined at like when you can see the 360 degree of your space at one static. That's it. Okay, so let's see about the interactive VR. Interactive VR is nothing but multiple layers of the static VR. So for example, if you are having a space of bedroom, kitchen and a living room space, you can able to teleport between different static VRs in the interactive VR. And also you can have options like changing the wall color, the day and night view, and changing the floor pattern like that. So you can do some actions in the like interactiveness in the virtual reality. So that is why it is called interactive VR. Okay, so let's move on to the walkthrough VR. A walkthrough VR is something that is similar to your gaming experience. In a game, you can roam anywhere in your space. You can see wherever you want. So that kind of experience you can get in the walkthrough VR. Let's move on to the types of categories of augmented reality. So under augmented reality, there are three subcategories. One is the triggerless AR, and then is the image tracking AR, and the third one is the object tracking AR. So let's see the definition of triggerless AR, image tracking AR, and object tracking AR with few examples. Okay. Triggerless AR is something that you can able to place your 3D model in real world without the help of any marker or trigger in the real world. So you can directly place the 3D model in your floor or any wooden surface, and you can scale it, rotate it, and experience it in the real world without the help of any trigger. That's why it is named as triggerless AR. Image tracking AR is also similar to triggerless AR, but you need a tracker or an image to for the 3D model to pop out. So only when you scan the image or a tracker, then only the 3D model will pop out. So that is why it is called as image tracking AR. The third one is the object tracking AR. Object tracking AR is similar to image tracking AR, but instead of tracking an image or a scanner, so you scan an object and the 3D model is popping out. That is object tracking AR. So let's have a revamp of the augmented reality types. Triggerless AR is something that you place the 3D model without the help of any trigger or marker. Image tracking AR is when the 3D model pops out with the help of an image or a tracker, it is called image tracking AR. Object tracking AR, when the 3D model pops out when an object is shown or an object is scanned, so that is called object tracking AR. Okay. So let's move on to the types of mixed reality. Under mixed reality, there are two main subcategories. One is the virtual hologram, and the second one is the HoloLens. A virtual hologram is something that it's not a real hologram, but a illusion of a hologram. It gives an illusion that it is visible like a hologram. Okay, so that is called virtual hologram. And you could have seen movies like Iron Man or something, the Avengers and all. So when the Iron Man uses the holographic technology, similar to that, they can have a visual illusion that is similar to your real hologram experience. Real hologram is not achieved in the world yet. So like there is a illusion of a hologram which is practiced in the present world. So let's learn how we can use that for the architecture purposes in the course. And the second category is this HoloLens. HoloLens is a product of Microsoft, and it's still under the beta version, like they are developing to try to make it real. It's like the similar to the specs that you are wearing. So when you use that hologram product and wear it in your head, you can able to see the world with the augmented reality objects in it. You could have seen the movie, The Free Guy. So it is similar to that experience. When you wear that, this one, HoloLens, so the thing around your world will be having the object, augmented reality objects in it. And it's still under production, and the cost of the HoloLens is also in lakhs and rupees like that. So it's still not affordable, and it's still not available in the present market. So that is about the HoloLens by the Microsoft. So in this course of virtual reality and augmented reality in architecture 3.0, we will cover the topics of static VR, interactive VR, triggerless AR, image tracking AR, and virtual hologram. So you can use the materials that have been shared with you in the drive link, and you can follow the instructions that I'll be guiding you within the upcoming videos for the hands-on experience of learning these above mentioned types. Yeah. So let's begin the course and have a great journey in this session.